to win this game 14-10. Watch Todd Gurley pop 2 touchdowns, or maybe even Tavon Austin takes an end around against an overly aggressive Bills defense and pops one. I wasn't afraid to start Tavon Austin in a couple DraftKings this week.
I like the Rams by 3. Under.
Jack likes the Rams. I'm with him. Joey, what do you got?
I'm gonna roll with the pepper jack cheese. I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one, and we just illustrated probably more than likely going to be a terrible football game.
Yeah.
I just think I like the Rams. I'll just take the home team. I don't really have any strategy towards this one whatsoever. I don't think there's really none to be said. I don't know. I'm just gonna. This is one of those nights you just flip a coin and say, all right, just take the home team and see what happens. Because this is it's a terrible matchup, terrible game.
I quickly
for those listeners out there that have the Red Zone, you probably, if you are like me and you watch Red Zone all day, all night, you probably will see maybe 2 highlights from this game the whole time, I would imagine, unless there's a defensive play.
Yeah, one of them is a safety. Yeah, you may not see much here, but in all fairness, I do want to point out. I brought it up the other night when Harvard Mike and I were talking about certain running backs. If LaShawn McCoy is healthy for this game, that Buffalo Bills squad is a different team. That guy is a great running back, and I don't think he gets enough credit. LaShawn McCoy is great. I watched a little bit of him last week. He's just a special player. You put him on a great team, and he's amazing. I don't know why we keep overlooking him, but we're getting tight on the time schedule here. Let's jump to our boys, Pepper Jack. San Diego Chargers heading out to Oakland.
Well, I have a black heart.
Yeah. And I have a gambling boner, and it's not very good for this game. It's just not. This is that one. We've been around way too long. Raiders come off a couple nice wins, or a nice comeback win anyway last week, to sit at home and lose 21-13 to the Chargers because they have 2 turnovers.
Right. And after watching Phillip Rivers' body language after they lost last week in a game they should have won,
yeah,
35-34 to New Orleans, I just had that feeling that, oh boy, the Chargers are going to come into Oakland with a mental mindset to beat them.
Sure, so. This is vendetta bullshit. This is a tough game for the Raiders. The Raiders are, in my eyes, the much better team. Top to bottom, just a much better team, but this has just got that division rivalry bullshit written all over it. I'm still going to take the Raiders to win this by 17.
I'm going to take them to win by 33.
Yeah, I like that. You know, they might keep it close for a while, but then the Raiders will probably win by 40, you know.
What do you got, 3.5?
Del Rio. Yeah, 3.5. Raiders laying 3.5. Over-under on this one's 51 points, so that, you know, the folks out there are expecting some points. They're expecting a score here.
That's going to be a lot.
This is probably 35-31.
Yeah, a lot.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Going to be an awful lot of passing in this game, I think, from both quarterbacks. I could see a very high-scoring game here.
I can too. I'm going to say 35-31 Raiders.
Aerial show indeed. I love Derek. As far as fantasy matchup goes, Derek Carr is an all-day play in this one.
He sure is. So is Rivers.
He's an all-day. I like Rivers. And the only thing, Rivers seems to be depleted of weapons, where I like Derek Carr's tools, weaponry, much better than what Phillip Rivers got to work with right now. Love Mike Crabtree in this game. Let's
not miss out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to.
All right.
This is the week that Amari Cooper gets in the end zone. I do think that Carr will try to come out and get Coop involved early and often. He's 4 catches last week, just not a big day. Crabtree's been the guy that Carr goes to, but look to him to get Cooper involved. Something underneath, pop one of these little bubble screens, something to get it moving. So don't be afraid to play Amari Cooper, although his value has not come down financially in daily fantasies. I still think he might be worth the start. You might see a nice day out of him tomorrow.
Yeah, and just think that I believe San Diego's defensive back, that Jason Verrett, is that his name?
Yep, IR.
Is out for the year. He was their shutdown guy. I think Amari Cooper does come up big this week, and I think you're absolutely right. It's almost like the Dez Bryant syndrome, where Dez doesn't get involved early. I think
T.O. used to be like that.
Yep. I do know Latavius Murray is out. I expect big things from the tandem running backs from Oakland, Jalen Richard and DeAndre. Is it DeAnthony or DeAndre Washington?
Washington.
DeAndre Washington. So Pepper Jack's going silver and black. Pepper Jack says Raiders 34, Chargers 28.
I like it.
Just fucking win, baby. I'm all over the silver and black as well.
And today is the 5-year anniversary. If you can believe it or not, today it's been 5 years since the great Al Davis has left us. It's dark days that morning was. Dark days. But 5 years have passed, and I think Mark Davis and Reggie McKenzie done a good job, so as Raider fans, we're happy. But wouldn't be right if we didn't mention Al today.
Just a side note on that for your DraftKings players out there. I think this may be the game where you see Melvin Gordon get 100 yards rushing, because the Raiders seem to allow running backs to have that one they'll pop off a big run at some point in the game early on. So I would see Melvin Gordon as somebody that you may be interested in your DraftKings lineup this week.
Yeah, I think 3 weeks in a row, Melvin Gordon's another guy who you've got to start. I don't like to say it, but you got to start. They're getting better linebacker play, but this isn't an Oakland Raiders show, so I'll move on to the next gag. But I think we're all in agreement across the board. Everybody likes the Raiders minus the 3.5.
Yep. No problems there.
Excellent. This might not be a bad game at 4:30 either. Cincinnati down to Big D.
Actually, these games are not very good this week. I've noticed for the most part, from top to bottom, it's not a loaded schedule. This does happen to be one of the better ones of the afternoon, though.
Yeah, it might be a good game. Dallas is the home dog, getting 2 points. Under 45.5. This is Dak's first big test, isn't it?
It really is. This is his first real defense, especially with that menace in the middle. None other than Captain Insano, Vontaze Burfict patrol in the middle again. Yeah. You have that back. And here's the thing: I did watch something. It's interesting. There's no home field advantage. As a matter of fact, it's a home field disadvantage if you even want to call it that for the Cowboys, who their record at home is terrible. And it's been so for years. I'm all over Cincinnati in this. Game. I think they're going to get to that. I think they have a good defense. They're fast. They're aggressive. I think they're going to get to that kid. This is the kind of the welcome back to earth Dak Prescott moment. This is your rookie moment. It's going to happen in this game. I look for him. He has not thrown an interception yet this year. Look for him to throw his first interception, maybe even two. I'm all over Cincinnati in this one.
All right. I think that is well said, well thought out.
Is Dez Bryant available this week? Do we know?
Doesn't look like it.
Right.
Doesn't look like it. And this game could be another gift
for Dallas.
This game could be another gift at Cincinnati, only laying 2. I have it at -2. What do you have it at, Pepper Jack?
Pepper's got it 2.5, laying the 2.5. But I will say that this is the Cincinnati Bengals have a 63% prediction rating, meaning Joe, America's with them, and that's the highest. Those 63% are on the Bengals. 63% are on the New England Patriots. So those are your two highest predicted victories.
They both of those teams have something. They have that experience. They have that level of confidence. They're able to travel on the road. They're able to win games. They have great head coaches, Marvin Lewis, Bill Belichick.
That never gets old, by the way. That music never gets old.
I think I don't know. I like this game a lot. I think if you're going to take the Bengals and only lay 2.5, 2.5 does not scare me in the slightest compared to 2. That half a hook. Cincinnati wins this game 21-13, 21-10. I think Dallas is depleted offensively. Ezekiel Elliott's going to have his first hard time against the Bengals defense that can stop him if they want. That's where I'm at.
I don't know about you. I'm a fan. I like Ezekiel Elliott quite a bit, but I love his competitive drive, but it's kind of on that Odell Beckham line where he kind of can sometimes come off as a whiner a little bit to me. I don't know. Maybe
it's early.
It's just me. Yeah, ever since, I was never really, I guess he was right, but I was never really, going back to last year, I know we're getting off track, but I wanted to say, I was never really a fan of him whining to the reporters after the game how he didn't get the ball and this and that. I thought that was in bad taste. I really did.
I forgot about that until you just reminded me, but you're right. That was not well done.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Johnson, just give me the damn ball. right?
Yeah.
I mean, basically threw his coaches under the bus, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. But he wasn't wrong.
He was not wrong. He was absolutely 100% correct.
In the locker room. You should have
But
done it.
you don't whine to reporters after the game. You go to your coach and say, "Hey, feed me the fucking ball." In his office.
I agree. So does Dallas get beat or not?
Well,
yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
How's Dallas's field goal kicker? Is he going to play?
Dan Bailey?
Yeah.
I saw the red cross by his name. I don't know the distinction, but I did see the cross by his name. He's on the report.
Yeah, I see two football teams here that don't put the ball in the end zone that much. I think Mike Nugent has about 8 or 9 field goals already this year, something to that respect. I see a lot of field goals, but I do see a Bengal touchdown spread in there somewhere. I believe Cincinnati wins this game about 23-20. 3 points, close to the spread, but enough to get by.
I'm with you. You know, we actually have what looks like it might be a decent game to watch. Maybe it's because I'm a honk on Sunday nights. I like to watch Aaron Rodgers in primetime. He usually is special. National TV Monday nights. I know there's been a lot of times we've all stayed up late just to watch Aaron Rodgers heave one into the end zone and win. It's happened a couple times recently. He's just fun to watch on national TV. I like Rodgers quite a bit. Giants traveling out to Lambeau. That's a 7-point line. That's really steep for the NFL for 2 heavyweights. I know the Giants are really a mystery, but
yeah, that's my hot tea kettle game of the week. Too hot to touch. Yeah. I don't know how that game's going to end up. I can only guess, and I will because I have to.
If Green Bay is able to blow them out, which is what I think that line's trying to tell you at 48.5 over under. And Green Bay laying the 7 at home. They're really that's telling me they're winning this game by 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't touch it. If we're at the big house, I'm not going anywhere near it. But for the sake of the line and for the sake of the discussion, if you've got to lay the points, you're laying the points on Green Bay at home on a Sunday night. Green Bay win the game 24-14.
Well, 72% of America believes this game's going over the 48.5.
Okay.
The other 54% are with the New York Giants plus the 7.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This one here, Green Bay hasn't been overly impressive. Randall Cobb,
Nope.
I don't know where he's been all year. Eddie Lacy, who knows what's going on. He had
Randall Cobb went missing last year.
Yeah.
Sure did, and he was their number 1 guy last year, right?
Yeah, I don't even. And you figure with Jordy Nelson back, he's not asked to do too much. He'd be their number 2, and he can't even fill those shoes right now. So what is this guy?
I have no idea.
Supplanted by Devonta Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, they didn't draft Randall Cobb with the first pick overall in the 2nd round to be, to take a backseat to Devonta Adams. I can tell you that much.
Well, he is, and you can't put any of this on Aaron Rodgers because you just can't do that. Eddie Lacy's been a problem. When do we start seeing James Starks?
Probably going to mix it up enough. Eddie Lacy. When is up? I know every year Eddie Lacy is like that guy they talk up every single year. Like, oh, this is Eddie Lacy's year. He lost weight. He's not hitting Taco Bell up at 2 a.m. anymore. This is Eddie. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I'm not a professional athlete by any stretch. Eddie Lacy. Yeah, I mean, when are we going to just give up on this guy and say, okay, he's just a lost cause. He's not going to be what you say he's going to be.
He does enough for that offense, I think. I think he does. He just does enough. He's not special, but he just does enough.
I see these so-called fantasy experts every year telling you to take this guy in the 1st round. It's crazy.
Tommy, I know you stated earlier you believe this is the week Amari Cooper gets in the end zone.
Yeah.
What do you think about Beckham this week?
Probably. I think again, same scenario. You got to get him involved early. You've got to play to his diva-ness and get him the ball. Make sure you keep him nice and fluffed all the time because he is that wide receiver personality. At least he's becoming that.
I think Sam Shields may be out again this week. So if that's the case, that bodes well for Odell Beckham. The one thing I noticed about Odell Beckham on Monday night, it seems like all he's interested in doing is making circus catches. I don't know if you recall the one play where if he would have went up top with both hands,
got 2 on it.
Got that long ball.
I'll take a word out of your book there, Pepper Jack. He's starting to drink his own Kool-Aid, I believe.
Yeah. You may be
my own flavor, so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's sniffing. He's sniffing in his mind. His farts smell like fried chicken right now. I mean,